Welcome to Brown Rappers Network.
What's up, y'all? About to pick up Manav from Brown Rappers Network. Let's see how it goes. Excited. Oh, there he is. What's up, man?
What's up, my guy?
Yo. Nice to see you, brother.
Nice to see you too, man. You show me around the 301 or what?
Hell yeah, bro. Let's fucking get it.
Let's do it. What have you been up to lately, man?
Man, too many things. I can't even tell you like where to start. Definitely a lot of musical projects in the works. I put out 17 songs so far on all platforms. You know, you learn a lot when you put out a bunch of stuff. You always want to figure out ways to get better. So, you know, I've kind of figured out what I want to do next. So I've just been piling up songs in the vault and just been kind of building up for the next, you know, wave of releases. It's a game about consistency. You know, for me, I definitely want to remain consistent the next time I drop. So I'm just preparing for that.
Right, and what's the spread of your songs look like? Like, do you release a couple songs at a time? And after how long? Like, what are the intervals like?
You know, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, man. So what would happen is I would finish I'd probably have like 3 to 4 songs ready at a time. I would release them in 3 to 4 intervals, right? Like I would finish, let's say like I finished 3 songs. By the time song 3 was fully done, I would release song 1, you know, get some good traction, and then, you know, song 2 I drop maybe like a couple weeks later, you know, build up some more traction.
So out of those 17 songs that you have,
yeah,
how many of them were made during the pandemic?
Actually, two of them. My 2 latest ones were made during the pandemic for sure.
Okay, and what are the names of those songs?
The first one I put out was Decide, and the one after that was What I'm Saying.
Okay, yeah, I've heard What I'm Saying. I'm a big fan.
Dude, appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, man. It was, you know, I was trying to go for a summer vibe. I put it out in March, you know, just right in time for, you know, when the weather was getting warm and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it took, I think, a couple listens to grow on me, but when it did, like, I think after the second listen, I was repeating that hook everywhere, man. I was just...
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it was super catchy hook.
Appreciate
I really like that song.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man, that's what we were trying to go for
Any plans for a music video for that song?
Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy because I haven't even put out a single music video yet. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, I really do believe in high quality work. Yeah. And because I have some peers who are artists who, you know, put out a bunch of music videos, but the budget, you know, hasn't always seemed right, and I don't see them getting too much for the amount of effort they're putting in to, you know, pop up for the music videos.
Right.
I haven't seen, you know, the output translate. So for me, I was kind of just getting my feet wet with these releases, trying to understand, you know, the process of being an artist, and that's definitely my next big step for sure is visuals. I definitely want to have a visual for What I'm Saying, a couple of my other already released 17, and of course for my, you know, new batch of songs, which is definitely 20, 30 plus songs that I got in the vault, man. I just can't wait to share that with the world.
But how has the last year and a half, like almost 2 years, been for you? Have you been going out? Like, I know, like, in America, it's gotten much better with the vaccines being available everywhere.
Yeah.
But how was it initially for you, like, when it was the worst that it was?
Oh, man. It was scary, honestly.
What were you doing? Like, were you making music? Were you trying to meet with your friends? Like, what were you trying to do?
Yeah, I was living in North Hollywood, California, and you know, a really popular place to be an artist and a musician, and so that's where I was when this whole pandemic thing was blowing up.
Interesting.
And so I have a little funny story, right? There's a 7-Eleven in a 2-minute walking distance from me, 24/7. You know, just always going there to get whatever I need.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would get those huge, you know, gallons of water just to, you know, kind of crush in the studio. And that would be like a almost daily thing. I'd go there just to get whatever. And as soon as the pandemic happened, bro, all the water was all sold out at the 7-Eleven. All the food, like all the essentials were sold out. And I was like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Like on a normal day, like the shelves are stacked and like everyone was going crazy, panic buying. So I was just like, yo, like how are we gonna sustain like, food places were closing early.
That was scary.
It made you want,
that
grocery
was scary.
stores were packed.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was really wild. That's where I was. I was in LA with a huge ass population. I'm just, with a bunch of people just trying to figure out like how are we gonna survive.
Right. So who all were you working with when you were in LA?
Yeah. Shout out to my boy G-Lo. He's a Bay Area artist. He is definitely my number one partner in LA. He was someone I was creating music with relatively often. There's this other dope artist named Deviyon, really sick videographer and photographer as well. He's toured with some big people, like with the likes of Danny Lay, does photo shoots for Diddy's family.
No way.
Yeah, no, that dude's,
shit.
he's like that. He's really dope too.
You were working with him when you were in LA.
Yeah, so he performed at my event actually. I threw an event in Hollywood. With my boy G-Lo, we actually both headlined that event.
Damn, that's nice.
we saw his talent in his music, and we offered him, he'd never actually performed before, so we were his first concert. So that was, a really dope feeling. One thing about me is I definitely, love finding new talent and, doing whatever I can to give them the exposure that they deserve.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Deviyon, G-Lo, this girl named Becca Boo, she's really dope. She also performed at our event. There's this artist named K-Watch. She's from Arizona, but she was coming to LA a lot, to network. She's a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate is actually an EDM artist. His name's Nick Love. Despite him being in a totally different genre than me, we got along so well because in our free time, we would make hip hop beats. Like, that's so dope. Like he's an EDM artist, but he's down to, just create something on the fly. I'll just be down getting water in the living room. And he's like, yo, let's make something. Let's cook. And,
Definitely.
that was the vibe, when I was in LA for sure.
So what exactly got you into making music? Was there a particular artist, a song, a show?
Yeah, there's definitely been a whole different sequence of events. I think the big step, the first building block was the first ever concert I attended, which was Linkin Park actually.
Wow.
I went to a Linkin Park concert in 2007 and I was obsessed with that band. That's my favorite band of all time. If we're talking about groups, there will always be number one. Rest in peace to Chester. Tragic loss. So when I went to that concert, right, they just gave me this feeling like, whoa, this is like so impactful, so energetic, so passionate. And they were really creative. Like when I saw them perform, they were doing some different stuff for their like intro. They like specialized in doing these like, creative intros. And it made me feel like, am I at the right Linkin Park concert? Cause like, I didn't even know what was about to happen, but all this like mysterious stuff that they did really made me fall in love with live music. It was just, that made me want to learn the guitar, made me want to learn Linkin Park songs, made me want to play the drums. That was the first big step into music, if we're talking about music as a whole.
That's very interesting. I mean, it's coincidentally, that was the first concert I ever went to as well.
Really? Linkin Park was your first concert?
Yeah.
Bro, they're so dope live.
They came to Bangkok, Thailand, and I watched them when I was like 13 or 14.
Hell yeah,
and
bro.
Everyone there was going nuts, like headbanging. I was like, what are these people doing?
Man.
Like,
people be going crazy, bro. It's crazy.
It was crazy.
That's so dope. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, they were the first ones for music for me. And then of course, my taste developed. I listened to a lot of different kinds of music, man. I outside of rock was definitely the first genre I really got into, but after that was actually definitely hip hop and rap and R&B and even pop and EDM. Like, I listed so many genres, but I love all that type of music. And I definitely had my phases, from that first concert up until today, with all those genres. And that's kind of my music is definitely a melting pot of all of those.
Right. Definitely. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, bro.
So if I were to tell you to name your top 3 artists.
So let's do it like this. Let's do top 3 hip hop artists.
Top 3 hip hop artists. Let's do that.
All right.
That's fair.
Top 3 hip hop artists. And this is like in order, like my first best, second best, third best.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Number 1, gotta give it to Drizzy Drake, Champagne Poppy.
Okay.
It's just undisputed because he does everything. He he can put out a song and he just caters to so many different crowds of people, and that inspires me to be like that because I don't stick to one thing. I love, like I told you, I love different styles of music.
Yeah.
He deserves that spot because he shows that, you know, you don't got to stay in one lane. You don't just have to rap. You don't just have to sing on your songs. You can mix it up. You could, you know, make it international, this, that. So he's number one. Number two, favorite all time. Have to give it to Kanye West, bro. Have to give it to Kanye West. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm gonna move him to third. I'm gonna say number two is Jay-Z because that was the first rapper that really made like banging music that I was like, okay, yeah, like this is lit. Yeah. You know, just because he's the OG. He's definitely the first OG for me.
Sure. I've never been able to take Kanye and Jay-Z off of my top 5.
It's hard. It's so hard. And there's probably so many more deserving names that, you know, deserve to be in that list, but you know, like you said, it's hard.
Dude, someone new who's like creeping up on the charts is Jack Harlow, man.
Of course. He's definitely putting on. He's definitely putting on.
I've been listening to his stuff for 3 months straight, like just him, just one artist.
Yeah. For
3 months straight. I mean, for the majority of the time.
Right.
It's just he has so much music from so many different periods of his life, like when he was in school, high school, like middle school, high school. Then he didn't go to university. He decided to do music full time, like after high school. I think he spent 4 years to get What's Poppin', but
oh yeah, man. He's been at it for a while. I knew who he was way before he popped off. Funny story. When I was just really getting my music out there, I got on this really popular Spotify playlist, and at the time I was so hyped because it's like, yo, I'm on this dope Spotify playlist. But I'm looking at all the names, and I see Jack Harlow, and I'm like,
oh shit.
And you know, I listen to it, I'm like, oh wow, like this guy's really good. All these artists are good. Like I consider them on my level, and I mean that's a conversation for later. Yeah. But it was a really talented pool of artists, and I discovered him there. So I agree with you, man. He's all over the place. He deserves it.
For sure, man.
So yeah, Drake, Jay-Z number 2, and I want to say so many, but it has to be Kanye West number 3.
All right.
It has to be those 3, man. Those are my 3 all-time rappers.
Drake, Jay-Z, and Kanye.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Drake doesn't make it to my top 5, bro.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so how come?
So I grew up in Bangkok where the culture was mostly EDM for like the most part of it.
Sure.
And most of my height, like I think in my junior year and senior year was when I really started listening to rap, but nobody else did. And I started listening to songs that inspired me lyrically, but like more spoken. Like I think I wasn't into the melodies as much back then. I just didn't understand them that much, but just lyrically, Mac Miller and
R.I.P.
Yeah, man, Mac Miller killed it. He inspired me to start writing about anything, really, just about life as a kid. And that's where it began. Like I started writing about stories about my life as a kid.
Hell yeah.
That's when I started writing.
Mac Miller was an inspiration to many people, even like the artists who are popping off today. I mean, it's hard to not mention him in today's world when it comes to, you know, hip hop, true 2000, I guess 10s hip hop. He's definitely a big staple in that.
Yep. Kanye and Jay-Z make it easily. I think J. Cole and Eminem are also up there.
Yeah, if you made me do a top 10, they would. I was debating Eminem for my number 3 spot. Gotta give it to Kanye. He's a producer. You know, he's just he's overall, you know, kind of everywhere. But Eminem is definitely.
So is J. Cole though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely top 10. Yeah. He's actually a little lower on my list, but he makes it to the top 10. I put Kendrick Lamar over J. Cole.
Okay. Yeah. No. Kendrick Lamar is also.
A little
very
bit.
fair pick. No, very fair pick.
If I'm going to be fair, though, I feel like J. Cole deserves a little bit more at this moment because he's been dropping music and, you know, Kendrick's been a little quiet.
Yeah.
A little quiet, but maybe, you know, too quiet.
Maybe. I think he's cooking something up for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, and I think, I don't know why J. Cole suddenly went on a path where he feels like he has to prove something. Or he talks about not having to prove something in his songs. Not having to prove anything, but
he's trying to prove something.
He's trying to prove something. Yeah. All the songs are related to not having to prove something, but like you're talking about that conversation.
Which is why I kind of feel like his value's slightly diminished because if you remember in like, you know, the early, like the mid to mid 2010s, he was like hot. Like him, Drake, and Kendrick were like, you know, the top 3 at that time, I believe. Yeah. You know, ever since he kind of went in that lane, it kind of seemed like he was like demanding respect almost in a way. Yeah. And this is I'm saying all this respectfully, like to the legendary Cole.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
But he slid in that lane with an amazing album. With
For sure.
With KOD, right?
That was an
That's when he started talking about, like, yo, like, I don't care what any generation says about me. Like, I've made it. Like, I hope I've bought my mom a house. Like, I hope you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, not spend your money on jewelry and all that shit. So when he slid in that lane with that album, it was legendary. That goated him for me. With KOD, that goated him for me. And then he came out with like a couple more albums, and I was just like, it's not great. It's not great.
I feel you.
It's good, but it's not great.
No, I totally hear that, bro. Totally hear that.
So where are we right now?
Yeah, man. So we're actually around a mall that I used to go to growing up, and I still do, obviously. Montgomery Mall. This is kind of like the Moco Mall area. We're definitely about to pass it. But yeah, man, you know, this is where I came up. This is where I would get food with my friends, family, go shopping, just hang out after school. We're actually about to pass it. I'll definitely get you a good view of it. But yeah, this is my mall, man. This is where, like, you know, actually, I'll tell you this. Are you familiar with Logic, the rapper?
Yeah, of course.
So Logic is also from the 301. He's he's a Maryland rapper. He actually grew up 15 minutes away from me out here. I knew him when he was a local rapper. Before he was a international, nationwide artist, Logic was out here grinding, and he would literally do free hangouts / meetups at this mall right here. Logic would just on his
What
Facebook.
mall is this?
Montgomery Mall. Montgomery Mall, bro. On Facebook, like back when we would, you know, keep up with everything on Facebook. I'm talking like 2011-ish, like literally 2011, like early 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
He would make a Facebook status saying, "Yo, what's up? I'm gonna be at Montgomery Mall later today. Let's hang out."
Yeah.
You know? And casual, bro. Like Logic was chilling there.
So you've met him?
I did not take on that opportunity. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Oh, man.
At the time,
No way.
So he was kind of popping. He had a really good song out here around that time that people were definitely, you know, catching on to. But
What song was that?
it was called "All I Do."
Oh my
You heard
god,
that
bro!
song?
Of course,
Bro, he did that shit around here.
I love that song, bro. That song, man. I've always wanted to play that song on the piano. You know, at the start.
Yeah, the little Sinatra vibe. Bro, so it was around that time he dropped that album, and he was doing hangouts there for free, bro. Like,
Shit.
he was really about that grind. And you know, part of the 301 in my name definitely comes from Logic. His original social media handles were actually Logic 301. That's why I made mine
Holy shit.
Beezy 301. No cap.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
my Facebook profile picture is a picture with Logic.
Really, you met him?
Yeah, I'll show you.
That's so sick, brother.
I actually organized an event for him.
Really?
Through Penn State's Moving On. It's Penn State's annual music festival.
I'm familiar.
So I was part of the group that organized Mick Jenkins, Dea, and Logic to come through.
That's
and
so
perform.
sick.
So unfortunately, Logic didn't get to perform because there was a thunderstorm. So we got
my God.
Mick Jenkins and Dea, but then, dude, you should have seen us in the room. All of us with our heads down. We're like, fuck, can't believe Logic didn't perform.
Did you tell him like, I'm so fucking mad, like you can't perform?
Dude, dude, all I said was, man, you were gone for a minute, but you're back now. I was so happy, man. I was so. He just walked in. He's like, "Hey guys," and everyone's heads came up, and everyone was smiling, and everyone was just so happy. He took a photo with everyone, with his arm around us. Man, it was amazing. It was a great feeling. Like, I'll show you when we get a stop. I'll show you the profile picture.
For sure. Homies in the back. Do try to get shots of the mall if you can.
Yeah, I'm shooting across.
My boy, I'm definitely gonna Yui and try to get you another angle as well.
Yo, check this out. Crazy, right? Look at that.
Holy shit, bro. That's Bobby in the flesh.
That's Bobby, bro. He came to Champs later that night, and he was pouring drinks for
Didn't he
himself.
perform at Champs? I saw his IG story at Champs.
Yeah. He performed at Champs because he wasn't able to perform in the outdoors with us.
That's so sick. So you still got a Logic show? He did
I
like 2 or 3 songs, right?
wasn't 21 yet, man.
Fuck.
So I was there at the site taking everything down till like 2-3 in the morning.
That's
It
wild,
was-
bro. I mean, hey, man, work
But
hard,
we gotta
play
meet
hard.
him, man.
Yeah.
We gotta meet him, man.
That's sick, man. Yeah, you know,
No.
Logic is a legend in this area for sure. he's really like my example. He's
That's awesome.
when we talk about, and I know we'll probably talk about this later, but when we talk about some of my biggest influences as to why I've like, you know, wanted to pursue being an artist so seriously, he is one of those influences because he showed me you can make it out of this area. And this area doesn't really brew artists, you know, like that. Anything is possible from anywhere. You can come from anywhere as long as you have, you know, the heart to make it happen, you know, it'll happen. But, you know, to see someone who grew up locally, who was grinding locally, and now they're like an international sensation, you know, that just, you know, proves to you that it doesn't matter where you come from as long as you got the grind. And it's funny because, you know, sometimes when you bring up Logic in hip hop discussions, he's very discredited. You know what I mean? People definitely like kind of shit on him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
About maybe how he is and and
his earlier songs were super lyrical, right? And I don't think people right now in this music age, they don't really, not the majority of them really like to just go with the beat. Yeah. They're not looking for really
beat and like melody, honestly. They don't
melody.
Even care about like with the words.
Yeah, no, exactly. So a lot of people that I try to like go back in time by listening to older music that I used to, right? And when I listen to Logic, most times I haven't gotten too much of a positive response from the people that
like
that
you're
are
like, yo, I'm
around
bumping
me.
this, and they're like, oh, like that sucks. You're listening to Logic, bro.
They're just not. They just don't vibe with it. But because I know the story, like I have heard the lyrics before, and I've been in that moment in the past, like I can put myself back in that situation where I used to enjoy it, and I know the lyrics. I know the guy through his lyrics. So it's fun to listen to the things that he says.
So let me ask you this: when did you discover Logic first? Around when would you say you became hip to Logic?
I think when I was 16 or 17, around that time.
Okay, word.
Yeah, All I Do was one of the first songs that I listened to.
Yeah. That he made that out here, bro. And
dude, insane.
He shot the music video, I think, at University of Maryland, College Park.
Okay.
But man, he was really promoting all around. He really was. He was all around the 301. Like he goated as the 301 king for sure.
So how did you get more people involved with your music? Like, how did they discover you more? How do you have so many different countries listening to you on Spotify? You know, you have so many streams. How do you get there? What have you done so far to reach to that point?
You know, with Spotify, you definitely need to reach out to people who have, you know, good organic playlists, you know, have, you know, people following them from all over the world. I don't even purposely try to target any people or any particular country. I really just go for playlists that have similar vibes, where my music could also, you know, have its place in. And really, man, it's just a grind. I just, you know, I send out a lot of emails, or sometimes, you know, the playlists want you to reach out via IG. You know, I'm just always chopping it up, you know, always shooting my shot with playlists. Playlisting is so important nowadays for, you know, the independent artist. That was definitely a big tool I utilized to get, you know, so many international, nationwide followers as well. That would be probably my number one method, was just piling up on playlists, just reaching out and doing my homework. And I'm blessed because I do have a solid team too that, you know, watches me do it, and they also put in the time to do it in their spare time to help me out. So, you know, it's love. You know, nothing can be done completely by yourself. If you have a good team that takes care of you, you can really, you know, multiply the steps that you need to take.
Right. And you said you've been making music for years now. So that means...
What does making music mean? Like writing songs?
Well, writing songs. What have you been doing for the most time? Like, have you been making beats or writing? Did you make beats first or did you write first?
Ooh, I guess playing an instrument like guitar or drums mean making beats first? Because I definitely
that just means you played an instrument first, right? You were a musician first.
Yeah, so I started by playing the guitar and the drums, and I would create my own kind of melodies on the guitar. But then eventually I formed a band with my friends who also played instruments. And it's crazy because I was like, my most serious band I was in, I was the drummer, right? And being the drummer, I was so, you know, in love with the, you know, art that I would play guitar in my spare time, come up with like an original guitar part, and I would pretty much start writing songs for my band and I'd show it to him at band practice. So I'd write like a guitar part, teach it to my guitarist. I would even write lyrics to it. I'd teach it to my singer, and that's when I got my first, experience with writing songs. I was really writing for other people, like my singers and stuff, teaching them how to do it. I had a vision. I would teach it to others.
Yeah.
But that's where it started, in the band scene. So it's been since like 2007, 2008. I've been writing, producing.
Okay, so what about your period in college? Like, what about the time that you had in college? Were you making music then, or were there other things that you were trying to focus on?
It's so crazy because in college, you're there to, do well in school, to study, to, stabilize your future in your career. And I tried to look away from music. It's like I tried to ignore music because even though I loved it, I was kind of, I don't want to say brainwashed, but I kind of felt like I had to follow this norm, where the music's cool and all, but I need to focus on, the important work stuff. So I would kind of push it to the side, but it just found its way to me. I had a friend who started an a cappella team, a good friend of mine, and I would beatbox for fun, right? That's one of the things I do, as a hobby. Yeah. And he recognized my talent in beatboxing, and he was like, hey man, I started this a cappella team last year. The beatboxer quit, and I know you're pretty good at it. Would you consider joining? So I gave that a try in college, man. And I wasn't even trying to join as a singer or anything like that. I was a very shy singer, but I joined as a beatboxer in this a cappella group. And it's crazy because I would do the vocal warm-ups with the team just to do it. And I realized I kind of had a voice. I discovered that I had some sort of singing ability that I was, I guess, holding back from. And that experience definitely got me back into music for sure. And even in college too, I would freestyle rap for fun. That was really what got me to where I am today, because it's something that just comes naturally to me. People wonder yo, how do you do this? How does that happen? Is this fake? But
I've seen him freestyle in person, so it's not fake.
Yeah, so in college I was freestyling, I was in this a cappella group, and keep in mind, I'm also telling myself that, this isn't, my life. This is cool, but I should focus on other things. But man, it was just, I just couldn't get away from it. In a time when I was confused and I was questioning what I really wanted, music was kind of there to tell me nah, it's me, it's been me the whole time. Let's do this. I'd say the first year, maybe even 2 years, my priorities were definitely in the books and being a good college student. And then I think after music kind of made its way back to me from just freestyling for fun, creating with my friends who like to do music as a hobby, or even playing the guitar in the dorm rooms, I found myself getting more and more addicted to rapping and freestyling. I think that's really what it was for me in college. I'd say by my sophomore and junior year, I was addicted to freestyling. Even when I wasn't around people, that's all I wanted to do was just throw on a beat and freestyle. And it got to the point where I wasn't even in college for school, for educational stuff. I was there to utilize my free time to myself to just perfect my craft. That's honestly what college turned into. It turned into me discovering my musical talent. I would do my schoolwork, and there'd be times where I'd feel you know what, I could definitely make a steady income off of working a traditional job. And there's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5 job at all. It's really comes down to your personal preference. And for me, I felt I could make an all right living doing that, but I also felt I could make more money doing what I really love if I really put the time and effort into it. Because there's a saying, you do it for the love of the game, and the love of the game was there. And I realized that just from freestyling or singing in a cappella group or beatboxing or just even creating, I just realized that I feel long term, short term, sure, I can make good money working a 9-to-5, but I realized long term, if I put my all into something I truly love, I could probably double on my profit or triple, whatever it may be. I felt I could go further doing what I really love versus what I felt I was forced to do.
And what would you say are some tips you would give to young artists trying to get their music out there who are like you in university? How do they get the confidence to get their music out there? And what are some avenues to do that?
I think for me, the biggest way I built my confidence was freestyling for other people. And I kid you not, every time I freestyled for somebody new, I would just see this look on their face, like, how are you doing this? And that gave me confidence because I could just tell they were genuinely amazed.
Yeah.
So that made me believe, like, okay, you know what? Like, I can actually do this. So I would tell the next kid out there to go with the signs that the world is giving you. Believe in your talent and don't be afraid of what other people think. Don't be afraid of dropping out if you feel like your time is better spent on what you're actually talented in. If you truly feel like there's a chance, stop wasting your time. Like, drop out if you're really serious about it, and pursue your passion. You don't need to be a college graduate to be very successful. There's the Bill Gates, there's the Lil Pumps, there's so many different billionaires out there. Just fuck what other people think. You know yourself better than anybody knows you. You need to believe in yourself. Follow the signs. Like I said, I built up my confidence by showing my talent to other people.
Yeah.
And they validated that for me with, a positive response. So I just took it with a grain of salt, and I just never looked back.
Yeah. So have you showed your song to a large amount of people at any point of your life? And what was the response like when you showed them your song?
I've actually had my music played at the club a couple of times, and the first time I played my song at the club, people were actually dancing to it and going hard to it. They didn't know the lyrics, but they were vibing to it, because obviously, when you hear a new song, you don't know the lyrics.
Yeah.
But, I have, and it's such a dope feeling. That just, reminds you that what you're doing is right. Like, you're doing a good job, and just keep going. So, yeah. And even with live shows, I've performed for around 100 people before. And that too, by the time I really got into my song, people would be really, engaging and, honest. They would, you could just tell that the love is real. So it's always been positive feedback.
Yeah. So, but what was this exact situation in which you showed, or you performed, or you showed your music to people?
So I'll tell you a crazy story.
Yeah.
When I was at Penn State, I wasn't even at this, enrolled in school at that time. This was already after that.
Mm-hmm.
I was visiting for a weekend, and this was around the time I had maybe 3 or 4 songs on Spotify, Apple, all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I took this trip to Penn State, and I was also at the time working at a music store, shout out Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that DJs on their turntables, there's a USB drive input. So I realized that if you have a USB drive with you, you could literally have your songs on there and give it to a DJ, and they could actually play your song. And now if they told you they couldn't, they're just lying to you. They're just capping because they don't want to play your song. But pretty much what happened was I was at Penn State with some of my friends. They were all, rocking with Beezy 301. And I was like, yo, listen, I really want to try to get my music played in the club. I got this flash drive. I'm going to need everyone's help. I'm going to need y'all to just, try to convince the DJ that I'm like that, and that the song is definitely playable at the club. So anyways, we go to the basement, pretty dope spot.
Which was formerly
Indigo. I know it as Indigo.
Yeah.
Indigo was the shit. But now it's the basement, and it was the basement when I went there.
Okay.
So I pull up to the basement with my boys and girls, and we just go up to the DJ. They're all like, yo, you gotta play a song. They're all telling him this before I even speak to him. And then I speak to him like, yo, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm really serious. I've been doing it for a while. I have this flash drive with a couple of songs. I think Drip Drip would be a really good fit for this. You can definitely listen to it in the headphones before you play it and decide if it's a good fit. But it would really mean a lot, if you'd consider that. So he was skeptical, but he was like, all right, I'll take a listen. So I give him the flash drive. He listens to it in the headphones while he's DJing his set, right? And later on, I'm just, being patient. he plays that Migos Cardi song that goes like, came through dripping. And right after that, he plays my song Drip Drip.
Sick.
Sick ass transition, bro.
Sick.
And the club was going crazy, bro. I literally have a video of that. If anybody goes on my Instagram, if you click on Drip Drip, it's on my story highlights. Towards the end, there's the moment where he played Drip Drip and people were dancing to it. And it was just a really good experience. So after, the fact, I went up to him, I spoke to him, and he was just like, yo, by the way, I produce beats too. I'll definitely send you sometime. Let me get your IG. So I was like, yeah, for sure, cool. I'll definitely tap in with you. But at that time, I never physically met a producer in person who made good beats that catered to my style. I'm pretty picky for the most part about my beats.
Right.
So he told me he would send me some beats in a couple of months from now, and I just thought whatever of it. I was like, whatever, we had a good vibe.
Yeah.
Who knows if you're really gonna hit me up. So, I get his IG. He tells me he'll tap in with me in a couple of months, in like 3 months. So I was just like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I never physically met a producer like that who, had beats that I really liked. So I just thought whatever of it, maybe he will, maybe he won't. But what's funny is a couple months later, he actually DMs me on IG. He says, yo, been listening to your songs that you gave me on your flash drive. I think I have some beats that might fit your style. So I'm just like, yeah, cool, send them over. I give him my email. Skeptical because, of course, producers always try to email me beats, and they almost never, ever are the ones that I want to make music to, or at least release music to. So I check them out. So crazy. He sent me 4 beats. All of them were a Beezy type beat. They were all Beezy 301 type beats, bro. And this one beat that I really loved, I immediately started writing to it. Like, literally wrote lyrics, went to the studio. I think the day of, too. I booked a studio session with my former engineer, Keys on the Beat. Shout out to him. And just grinded the song out. Literally was at the studio from, we started in the evening, and I didn't leave the booth till 6 a.m. It was that late.
Damn.
And, that song turned out to be On Lock, which is now out on all platforms. But that beat pack that he sent me had On Lock in it. And ever since he sent me those beats and we made that song together, I was just like, yo, bro, keep sending me beats. And he kept sending me beats. It got to a point where he would literally tailor fit them to my style. He would chop them up for me the way I wanted them to be, or he'd, do certain melodies that I would, think of. And I actually do produce a lot too. I definitely have a producing background, as we've mentioned earlier. So me and him, it got to a point where he would, visit me for the weekend. We'd lock in the lab, make beats for hours. I would tell him kind of the direction I want to go in, and, we just cook. And ever since then, that DJ I approached at the basement is now my main producer. Shout out DJ Nick G, bro. You the fucking man.
That's an awesome story, man. Damn, at the basement, at Penn State.
Just trying to promo my music, just the boy trying to grind.
That's sick, man. So Drip Drip was the song that really got you that confidence booster that no other song really gave you at that point in your life, right?
You wanna know a funny story, bro? So Drip Drip was an accident. That song was a freaking accident, man. I at the time, Gucci Gang came out by Lil Pump, and shout out Gucci Gang, because that you can't deny the success that song had.
Yeah, of course.
But at the time, I'm thinking how does an artist make such a simple song so big? I was just in my feels,
for sure,
bro. I'm making all these complex ass songs. How did he do that? So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fuck around and make a really short song, not really try that hard. And I made Drip Drip, and somehow at the time that was, and still is, a really popular song of mine. So yeah, it's crazy, because I was just trying to make the next Gucci Gang.
Yeah.
Drip Drip made a lot of strides for me. It was even featured on Fashion Nova's IG story. I don't know if you ever knew that, but
I didn't know that. I knew about your one of your friends, Peter Plains.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He made that his
theme song.
Theme song.
Yeah. I definitely got it. Yeah. So let me tell you about that actually.
Yeah,
what
sure.
happened to Peter Plains before I even talk about Fashion Nova. So in this area, in the DMV, as we like to call it, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. But if we get specific, we get into Maryland and we're in the 301. You know, I've always been trying to stay posted for opportunities to even physically perform live at venues. And one day I randomly get a DM from this guy, Peter Plains. He runs his own streetwear podcast show called Talk Drip Live. And he pretty much just DMs me randomly. He says, yo, you seem like you keep up with streetwear fashion and you also make pretty good music. I'm an Indian American individual promoting this brand, and I would love to have someone who's also, you know, the same ethnicity as me, you know, showcase their talent on my show. We have musical guests in between commercials, so you should definitely, you know, check us out, give us a try. So I was like, you know, why not? You know, it was in Washington, D.C. at WLVS radio station. I pull up with my boys, not knowing what to expect. And prior to pulling up, I'm asking him, so how many songs can I perform, this, that? He says, just one song. But I was like, any chance I can perform two, bro? And he's like, all right, yeah, fine. You can do one in the beginning and one at the end.
Sick.
So I do my song Tokyo first. You know, it's a really like hard-hitting, rap-heavy song. You know, definitely was vibing with the crowd on that one. And then at the very end, I performed my song Drip Drip, the infamous Drip Drip. And by the time I finished the song, bro, people on the camera crew and the people that were working his show, they were all like, yo, like, should we make that our theme song? And I'm just kind of standing there like, no way. Like, you guys are actually thinking about making this song your theme song?
Because the show is called Talk Drip.
Yeah, so that's actually why I decided to perform that song, because, you know, Talk Drip, and I was thinking, all right, you know, Drip Drip will make sense because, you know, it goes with the name of the show. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I performed that song. They're all like, yo, we should make this our theme song. Peter Plains asked me, can we make it our theme song? I'm like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And, bro, ever since that episode, it's become their theme song. They're on season 2 right now, going really strong. And, hey, man, Drip Drip's still hanging.
So what exactly do Talk Drip talk about?
So, yeah, it's hosted by this guy, Peter Plains, dope-ass guy. They just talk about the latest streetwear fashion that's dropping. They talk about what they retail for and what their resale value is. You know, and they just give you the scoop. Let's say he dropped an episode next week. In that episode, he's going to just talk about whatever's dropping that week, all the cool collaborations that are going on. And he'll even dive into the history, too, which is really unique.
Very cool. So it's surrounded around fashion, right?
Definitely surrounded around fashion. And it's crazy because when I went there, it feels like a school lesson. It's like class, except a subject you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you feel like you're listening to, like, Peter Plains is a freaking drip professor.
Yeah. You listen to things that you want to listen to.
Yeah.
What you want to learn about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like when I recently got into fashion and started looking at more expensive clothing, I was very interested in the reason why it's that expensive. They can't just be the brand name, right? Like there has to be something about it.
Of course.
And that's when I started purchasing a couple of nice things and realizing that there is something about it.
Oh, yeah.
The material is different. It is stitched better. There's no loose ends, like in comparison to the ones that are on the lower end, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like there are no mistakes, usually. Most of the time, there's no mistakes in the ones that are more expensive. And I'm really into fashion. I'm definitely going to be listening to his podcast or his show.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
So is it available on YouTube as well as a video show?
Yeah, you know, he's on YouTube, TikTok. Originally, it was an in-person live show, which was also still broadcasted live online. But because of the pandemic, he definitely moved on to, you know, more internet-based marketing. So he's definitely, you know, doing the show, you know, through the comfort of his home and just pumping out content. It's very available on Instagram, TikTok, all platforms.
Nice.
Definitely follow at PD Pessimist, and we'll definitely, you know, put that handle in the subtitles.
Sure. So we've talked a lot about your time during university and the success you've gotten from Drip Drip and meeting people in the industry, like the producer for your song On Lock.
Yep.
What was his name?
DJ Nick G.
DJ Nick G.
Yep.
So that was an amazing story, an amazing connection that you made. But let's take it even further back to high school. Tell me your story about you in high school.
Yeah, man. High school was It was crazy, man. It was honestly, all in all, a really great experience. High school was where I honestly honed in on so many different musical talents. I was in a really serious band. I was a drummer for a band and a guitarist in high school. That's when I became a very intermediate to advanced level guitar and drum player.
Okay.
I formed a band with, some high school classmates who I still, keep in touch with till this day. Those are my musical brothers for life. So it's funny because in the beginning of high school, like my freshman, sophomore year, those were like my rock years and rap years too. So like I said, I was in a rock band and I would play a lot of, rock stuff on the drums. But when I would practice the drums, I would actually, put my iPod headphones in my ears, and I would even play drums along to like rap songs. Like I'd be drumming to Lil Wayne, Eminem, just a bunch of stuff like that. So that's where my kind of production, where I kind of honed in on my like
your production sense
skills.
Yeah,
because you're drumming along to how they do the drums on the hip hop tracks. So that's how I kind of familiarized myself with that style of drumming in hip hop. So my first 2 years were definitely rock and a little bit of hip hop, but then my next 2 years, my junior, senior year, actually became very EDM based. There's actually a point where I wanted to be an EDM DJ. Like I wanted to be the next Avicii, the next Zed. And I was definitely dabbling with it. I was learning that's when I learned actually how to produce, was through EDM music.
So that was a while back. So you've been producing music, like you've had the skills to produce music from a while back.
Yeah,
since high school.
Yeah, since high school. Damn near middle school almost, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
But I got good at it for sure, or I definitely had a comfortable sense with it in high school.
Okay.
So yeah, I downloaded this software, Ableton. That's where I learned how to make EDM music and just overall produce, digital stuff. So just through that experience of trying to create EDM music, I took that over to hip hop music when I really got into rapping and freestyling. And I just, from the drum patterns I would play on the drums over those hip hop songs, I would just transfer that over to, the DAW programs. And yeah, it really helped me, honestly, really learn how to produce hip hop quickly. So yeah, like I said, the first 2 years were rock and hip hop in high school, and the next 2 years, that's when I kind of like quit my band. I realized like no one in my band was as serious as me.
Okay.
A big reason why I'm an individual artist today as opposed to being in a group, because when you're in a group, everyone needs to be on the same page. And being the drummer of a band and writing the lyrics, writing the guitar parts, like that just shows clearly like I'm the only one who's really trying to push us in a forward direction. So it gets tiring, and
I get it.
That's what makes me an independent individual artist.
I get it. Yeah, I've been an individual artist as well, and that's probably the reason I don't have too much of my stuff out there yet. A team makes it a lot more, a lot more efficient,
For
like
sure.
there's a lot of skills that can be taken, that can be combined for one project rather than you doing everything and learning how to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you want to get to that stage where you can do everything by yourself, just so that when you have a team, you can still be able to do something when someone's not able to do it.
Of course. It's always good to be ready.
Yeah, it's always good to be ready, for sure. Tell me a bit about your band. So whereabouts would you guys practice?
So we'd actually practice at my house, and the reason being was because I was the only one who had a drum set. It's pretty hard to move a drum set. It's a pretty it's a lot of equipment. So we would do it at my house mostly. My bassist did have a drum set, but his wasn't as big as mine. He had a smaller drum set, which is fine. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But mostly at my house. We would practice on the weekends. We'd practice on Saturday for like 3 hours. We would cover songs and we'd write our own original songs. Some bands that we would cover are Blink-182, Rise Against. They didn't want to cover Linkin Park, unfortunately. I really want to do a Linkin Park song. They didn't want to do Linkin Park.
Damn. Wait, so are we around your high school?
Yeah,
right
this is Winston Churchill High School. This is where I came up.
Wow.
This is where I would literally sit right there with my boys and we'd talk about music. We would talk about our band practice. We would play like the songs on our iPods for each other, like around there.
Like right in the front of the school.
Yeah, like where those benches are.
Yeah.
We would definitely be just chilling there at lunchtime, just, you know, having a band meeting, honestly.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. The journey is just so humbling.
But I'm guessing in your last 2 years, that was you alone on that
So,
bench.
yeah, I kind of had an exit with my band because, like I said, you know, you get tired of being the only one who's really serious about it. And at that time, you know, EDM was really popping off. My friend group kind of changed a little bit. You know, when you have friends who you've been friends with for a long time, you realize that, you know, you realize your differences amongst them, you know, with time. And a part of me was friends with my band members solely for the obligation of music, because I felt like, you know, I had to be around them to, you know, sustain this relationship and, you know, to sustain this band, you know, moving forward.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of things I didn't have in common with them. Music was the biggest thing, but, you know, at the end of the day, you do got to take care of yourself and you do want to mentally be happy. Like, I personally, I'm into sports. I like basketball, soccer.
Same.
You know, I couldn't really talk to them about that, but there was a different group of friends that, you know, also liked music, but also liked those things. So I started hanging out with a newer group of friends around junior year, senior year, and that's when we kind of took on EDM together. We would just, you know, that's when we really started to rage, was with the EDM scene. And that's what inspired me to be an EDM artist, and that's what got me into music production, for sure.
You're talking about how you wanted to be the next Avicii, right?
At one point.
I actually watched, this is a fun fact, I actually watched Avicii's last concert.
No
ever.
way.
His last concert ever.
R.I.P., bro.
And it was an Ultra Festival concert in
Ultra's
Bangkok,
the move.
Thailand.
That's so dope, man. I'm
Dude,
so jealous of that experience.
Dope. And he actually announced that this was going to be his last concert ever. And we've watched his last concert ever. I can't believe it.
Dude, you've been to some sick concerts. You've seen
Been to
Avicii,
some sick
you've
concerts,
seen
dude.
Kanye at the Life of Pablo. You saw Linkin Park as your first concert, bro. I'm jealous, man.
Weeknd, J. Cole, Post Malone.
It's a Hall of Fame, bro.
Bro.
It's a whole Hall of Fame
No,
lineup.
like we discussed, man, music always found its way back to us, you know?
Yeah.
With me joining Penn State, I had no idea all these artists were going to come specifically to Penn State for their tour.
Yeah, Penn State really
Penn State's
takes care of the students, man. They really look out.
As an artist, it was a blessing, man. They had artists coming there specifically on their tours.
Yeah.
To Penn State. Are you gonna show me something over there?
Oh yeah, so I mean, so if you see that Churchill Bulldogs, you know, the Bulldog was our mascot. That would be, you know, where the soccer games and the football games we played. Football Fridays were pretty big. That was definitely, you know, the vibe. You know, on a Friday night around 7, a lot of school spirit.
Yeah.
The school would be chilling there. The away team would be on that side, you know, and we'd be talking shit, bro. We'd really be talking shit. It was a fun vibe overall, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what the life was. It would be, Fridays would be, you know, for football games, and then Saturdays would be for the band. Sundays would be for the family, and more alone times I work on my music. So, you know, that was kind of my background growing up. That's, you know, definitely my high school experience in terms of music, and just
sounds quite pleasant, man. Like, I mean, you had a group, and then you found your own way.
Yeah.
And you had a fun time in university, and you had another group that helped you become something that you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And that's a great story, man. That's where a great story starts. You know, you start off failing in trying to do something that you really, really want to do. And sometimes you just need to change where you are, change the people that are surrounding you in order to get further.
Oh yeah. I can't define how I've gotten to this point in one story. I know I've told you a lot of stories, but really all those stories were all building blocks to how I got to where I am today. Yeah. It's really crazy because, you know, one of those stories for anybody could be just all they needed to fully be into music. And I tried to look away for so long, man, to the point where I just can't. Like, you know, I'm just can't. It's me. It's in me.
Yeah.
Music's in my DNA. That's all I know. That's all I'm good at.
Yep.
That's all I care about, man.
For me, it's writing, but yeah, music comes
Writing is a
into
great
it,
form.
you know?
It's a very artistic form of expression, man. There's no music without writing.
There is, but
Well, I mean, you still write the music, though.
I mean, I guess, yeah, you still write the music. That's true.
Whether it's piano or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's written. I mean, well, that's
It's
writing.
that-
I'm writing on the spot. I'm just writing words. It's
Yeah.
like a doodle. It's a free flow.
So, Beezy 301.
Yes, sir.
How did that name come about?
Wow. So my real name, my birth name is Kabir. And when I started freestyling for fun, my boys would joke around and, call me Kuhbeezy, just like as a little, rapper name.
Yeah.
So I'd go by Kuhbeezy from Kabir. And it just got to a point where when I kept doing it, I kind of dropped the cut off and made it Beezy, for short.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started to really make music, I realized there's so many other Beezys out there that, it'd be hard. If I met someone and they want to look me up, they'd have to go through such a long list to get to my music. So
I went through that when I was looking you up. I was
so
like,
you already seen the
yo,
issue
where
with
is Beezy?
trying to be
Yeah.
Beezy. So ironically, my IG handle was already Beezy301 before I even decided to be an artist, ironically.
Okay.
So, I thought about it, and 301 really means a lot to me. It symbolizes Maryland, and it's really just, my home, my identity, my come up. So I just thought Beezy301 would be perfect because, first of all, that was already my IG handle before, and it just made sense. It's easy. You can just type in Beezy301 and you go right to me. So that's how Beezy301 came about.
And they call this area the 301.
Yeah.
Because it's the telephone code, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's the area code. Yeah,
Area
the first
code.
three of my phone number is
It's
301.
301. That's very cool, man.
Yeah, the ladies got to figure out the rest. They got to figure out the next 7.
Yeah. So, growing up in the 301, in the DMV area, in fact, DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Correct.
As a brown rapper, did you find that you were able to fit in to the culture here easily, or were there some bumps along the way?
That's a great question, man. To be honest, growing up as an Indian American in the DMV area, first and foremost, this area is so diverse, and I'm really grateful for it because I've been able to tap in with so many people of different ethnicities and cultures. But being a brown rapper in this area has been a little difficult at times because, coming from that Indian background, there aren't very many artists who come from an Indian heritage. And when I decided to make that maneuver out here in this area, a lot of people, they don't take me seriously because they've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So I feel like from the musical aspect, it's been hard. But growing up here, just as a normal person, even though it's a diverse area, you still go through the prejudice and stereotypes at times. And I felt like in that regard, I've struggled to, I guess, figure out where I fit in because amongst the people I grew up around, like in school and stuff, I always felt like I was behind. I didn't grow up, I didn't come from an American family historically. Right. So I had to figure out a lot of things being first generation here. But the thing is, amongst the Indian crowd now, not even the diverse group of people I grew up with, but the Indian crowd, me being in that musical lane was also different for them. So I kind of felt out of place because, a lot of Indian people historically, they want to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, they really want to strive for a high paying traditional salary.
Absolutely.
So I've even felt out of place in that aspect. So in the DMV, man, as a brown rapper, I've definitely felt kind of out of place, but I feel like my music is helping me, find my place because there's an audience out there that, is searching for me, and I feel like I'm finding them too. So I feel like with time I am finding my place, even though at times I felt out of place out here.
Exactly. I get where you're coming from about being a brown rapper, how you don't fit into the American culture per se because you don't fit that image of being a rapper, and then you don't fit into your own culture, your what do you call your original culture?
Yeah, my roots.
Your roots.
Yeah.
You don't fit in there because rapping is not something that they even look at as something professional.
Yeah.
It's something you do as a hobby. Being a brown creative in general is very isolating.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed that in my time at Penn State as well. Being the only Indian or brown kid in advertising classes and in creative
The
classes.
token brown kid.
The token brown kid. And I had one other kid who was also in advertising, an Indian guy, in the year below me. But I was the only one in my batch. Like in my batch, I was the only one.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get how you can be isolated from so many situations being a brown creative.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And one thing to add to that is, you know, obviously you and I being Indian people, we definitely probably go to Indian gatherings, you know, with a lot of family members. You know, you have to kind of give them the whole spiel, what you do, what you're into. And when I tell like aunties and stuff like that I make music or uncles, they're like, oh, so do you make Desi music? Do you make Indian music? And it's like, no, like I make American hip hop music. And they think the worst, man. And you
can't even show them what you have because like there'll be restrictions in those kind of settings.
Exactly.
Like, man, I can't really say everything and I can't really sing this and like you're not from like my dad, if I speak my lyrics to him, he loves it. Like he's like, oh damn, like everything that I'm saying. But if I make him listen to a hip hop song that I really like, he'll just be like, I don't understand shit, bro. Like, I don't understand.
It sounds
shit.
Nice, but I don't know what the message is.
Yeah, and he starts getting a headache. So like that generation of people, like our parents' crowd, they're just not gonna be vibing with that. And I felt myself slowly moving from more hardcore music or like EDM or like, you know, house or whatever that was, and even like more lyrical rap into going into more melodical rap as I'm aging. So I can see how the elderly, like their perception of music changes as they grow older. They like more melodical stuff rather than too much words being said with too much energy. Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about your favorite artists growing up. What about producers? We're sitting in a studio right now. Producing was something you started off doing more than writing, right? That was something you started off very early on. So do you have a favorite producer or a top 3 list of producers that you really enjoy?
So my number one, and this is gonna shock some people, I think, but it's Pierre Bourne. Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Yeah.
Pierre is number one, and I'll tell you why he's number one really quickly. He changed the game, bro. He's made 808s so much more bouncier in, you know, these modern hip hop tracks. And not only that, I mean, we're talking about producers here, but he's even a dope artist too on top of his production. But his producing style is my favorite. I definitely try to incorporate that in my song. Even when I produce my producer, DJ Nick G, he tries to go the traditional 808 pattern way, but I'm like, nah, we gotta sauce some Pierre in here, you know? Like, so Pierre's number one. Amazing melodies with amazing 808s. Number one is Pierre. Number 2, Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin.
Want some more? Yeah, bro. You already know. If Young Metro don't trust you, bro. But nah, seriously, Metro, I mean, bro, he's just certified hit maker. He
certified
placement game is really strong. You know, he's in the scene. He just, bro, he can do anything. He's really hot. I mean, bro, you already know. No words for Metro.
Metro.
And then third one, bro, that one's tough, but I don't know if this is his name, but that Turbo guy, Run It Back Turbo? Yeah, that dude. He makes some hard-ass beats, bro.
Dude.
So those 3 are definitely, you know, I really go by consistency and stuff that I hear. Like, if I hear a producer tag a lot, like, you just kind of earn yourself a point in my producer ranking for songs that I like. So
for sure. And
those
they have
are
such
3.
catchy, like, what do you call it? What do you call that, like, slogan that they have before?
Yeah, it's a producer tag.
Producer tag.
Yeah, a beat tag. Yeah.
Producer tags. Like,
yeah, all 3 of them fire tags.
Like you're ready to get hype as soon as you listen to that tag. You're like, yep, let's go.
Yep.
Sick.
Yeah, Pierre, Metro, Turbo.
All right, nice. So we've heard a lot about the music that you listen to, your tastes, the artists that you really like, the producers that you're really fond of. Let's talk more about you and your music. One of my favorite songs of yours is What I'm Saying. And with that catchy hook, with the relevant lyrics, I feel like I know it's going to be something that's going to be trending this summer. And I'm going to push for it, for sure. Like, I'm going to get the word out there to everyone that this is a song to listen to. You will not be wasting your time. And to keep listening to a lot of the stuff that you put out. But you told me that you wrote this song a while before you released it, which was this summer. Why did you take the time to release a song? Why did you feel that this song was a summer song?
Sure. So during that pandemic period, I wrote What I'm Saying. And before I wrote What I'm Saying, I was kind of fucked up over just all my plans I had pre-pandemic, just being ruined because I'd really, foreshadowed them for 3 months. And I was going through a dry period of writer's block, I guess. I was writing songs, but I wasn't really in love with anything. So, I was praying to God, like, very often, saying that, I know you, when things are dry, you usually bless me with a really good song. So, whenever you do that next, I'll be ready for it. So one day I was just going through beats on YouTube. I heard that What I'm Saying beat produced by Dak, sick ass producer, by the way. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, she don't bring it back, and then like kind of mumbled the rest of it, filled it up with lyrics. And I made the song, right? But I made it in like September, October, like in the fall, cold time. And just listening to the vibe of it, it's like, yo, this is such a summer vibe. Like I kind of missed the bus. Like, why didn't I write this song in like, like May or something? So I had that song, and that was only one really good song I'd written at the time because I had writer's block. So I was like, even if I put this out now, I don't really have anything dope to follow up with it. So it just didn't feel right. The timing didn't feel right. And then, summer was approaching, and I don't know, I just found myself re-listening to the song. I kind of, got back in that What I'm Saying zone. So I was like, you know what, this is the time. I know people are going to like it. The world is going back to normal. Like everyone's eager to, find their summer boo, just go out, have a good time with the boys. Yeah, exactly. So it just felt right, man. That's really what it was. It was just about the timing and feeling right. The wintertime didn't sit right with me when I made it.
All right. So can you just give us a little bit of a spill of the lyrics in that song?
Yeah, for sure. So I say, she gonna bring it back. She gonna show me how she do it with an ass like that. She gonna make my ass pursue it. Whole lot of cash, but I ain't never blew it. If you know what I'm saying, So that first half of the hook. Yeah. I'm saying she gonna bring it back. So pretty much like,
you can picture yourself on a beach listening to that song.
Yeah, and I can picture myself outside, seeing someone who is really beautiful. But like not just beautiful, it's not just the looks, but like even on the inside, a really dope person. And we're just kind of vibing, and like she likes me for me. She doesn't like me for the material or whatever, like that kind of materialistic stuff I can offer her. She likes me for me, so she's gonna bring me back. She's gonna show me, she's gonna vibe with me. And she's gonna vibe me so hard that she's gonna make me want her. Like she's gonna make me want to pursue it. Whole lot of cash, as in like I really try not to waste my money on someone who's trying to run me for my money. So it's it's just a relatable lyric for me, saying like, listen, like I don't be trying to waste my time balling out on girls who aren't really about me. So if you are about me, like I'm gonna make it rain. If you're with me, I got you. For sure. Only if you're with me though. So that's kind of the overall vibe of the song, but that's what really went into the hook. That's what I was really trying to embody when I made that song.
So was there any inspiration behind the lyrics of the songs, or was it just the beat that brought those lyrics out?
It was the beat for sure. It wasn't even like a time where we were going out, you know what I mean? I was just envisioning kind of the future. I was just envisioning like this pretend scenario. But it's crazy because I say it's pretend, but nowadays I can really relate to that song. I can actually relate it to a personal experience. So it's just wild how music works,
Very cool. Writing. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Great song.
Thank
I'm also a big fan of Incognito, by the way.
Yes, sir. Slept on. Very slept on.
Very slept on. Well, they're like 30 views on SoundCloud, bro? 30 listens?
Yeah, I mean, we don't, be pushing on SoundCloud. But, it's steady on Spotify. But I feel,
that's one of my favorite songs of yours.
For sure.
Lyrically, it was everything about being an artist and knowing that you're an artist. Yeah. But not trying to show that side of you to everyone else because they just don't get it, basically, right? Yeah. That's what I understood from it. What was your thought process behind Incognito?
Yeah, so in this song, like I start off by saying, now they don't know where I came from. I knew I've been nice since day one. Used to go hold back, ain't say none. Humble shit, that's where I came from. When I'm saying, now they don't know where I came from, it was just pretty much me letting people know that so I knew Incognito wasn't going to be like my best song, but I knew if you cop the feel for any of my music, you'd make my way over to that song. It's like, if you like this BC301 song and you want to check out more, you're gonna make your way over to this song. And this is a song that tells you, like, if you're wondering where I came from, like now you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm a guy that I believe like, you know, when my time does come, I'm gonna come out of nowhere and people are gonna wonder why. And that song is gonna tell you why. It's gonna have that answer for you.
Very cool, yeah. Well, that song, I listened to it before I came over to meet you guys today. I was like, wow.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I love it.
I don't love it as much as other people love it. I mean, it's a dope song. It definitely felt like something I had to get off my chest, but you know, it means a lot. That makes me want to push it more.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, there's always things you can add when you're trying to re-release a song.
For sure. Even just marketing, like it's fine. It can be fine the way it is. You know, you know, maybe trying to push it out more to the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was another song of yours called Pop It. Another very catchy chorus, something anyone could really vibe to, very widely relatable. But I wanted to know, what is your personal experience or your personal inspiration for the song?
Wow, well, I have another interesting backstory for this one. It was me and my boy Tommy. Shout out to Tommy, amazing manager, amazing homeboy. One of our hobbies sometimes when we're bored is just to make just songs for fun. We don't even try that hard, just have something to vibe to. So one day I had him over. He'd already been helping me record a bunch of songs. So I was like, bro, you're always helping me. Like, let's try to write you a song.
Right.
So we go on YouTube. I find a beat that he likes, and I'm kind of helping him write it a little bit. So one thing about my boy Tommy is he definitely has like certain phrases that are like just kind of him. And one word or phrase that popped out to me was pop it. It just seemed like Tommy would like that phrase, pop it. He's shown me other songs of his, and it's been kind of similar to that, kind of vibe. So I was just like, all right, let's try this. I'm just, coming up with a hook from like, pop it, all of them bitches gonna drop it. Like we started there, right? And so he hops on the mic. He does it like 8 to 10 times, and he's not really feeling it. He's not really, I guess, fully seeing my vision for it, which is totally okay.
Yeah.
So I step on the mic. I'm like, here, I'll show you what I'm trying to get you to do. So I hop on the mic. I do it, right? And he's like, yo, that sounds really hard, bro. Like, you really killed that. You should, honestly, this should be your song. Like, you keep this. And I was just like, I wasn't even tripping. I was like, damn, like, all right. Like, we were trying to make you a song, but,
yeah,
let's go. So we found this YouTube beat, right? And I made this pop it hook over it. But the beat kind of got a little bit weird. It was a random YouTube producer who made it. And I didn't like the structure of it. I didn't think I could build like a fully properly structured song with a good storyline to it. So after I wrote the hook, I took it to my producer, DJ Nick G. I told him the vision. I sent, Nick G, the G. I sent him the hook. I told him the vision. I told him, listen, like, this original beat just kind of goes off the rails. I want to, have a short verse, go back into the hook again, another short verse, and end it with the hook, make it catchy, type of thing. So he tailor fit it to my style. And like I said, I already had the hook down first. And once he gave me the verses, I'd already been living in LA at the time. So from there, I kind of tied it into my personal experiences from how I had just moved from Maryland, how I started in Maryland, and how I just moved to LA, and, tied those into the verses and connected it to, make it a perfectly crafted song with a nice structure to it. So that's how Pop It happened.
Nice. So you both wrote it together then?
Yeah, essentially. He definitely was the backbone of the structure when it came down to my verses and the storytelling in the song. Yeah.
Nice. So can you just take us through some of the lyrics and explain
how
they related to your personal experiences?
Yeah. So, I mean, me personally, I definitely... I love to party. I don't party all the time. Definitely not as much as my younger days when I go hard. But I still got it in me. The savage is still there at times. It starts off, pop it, all of them bitches gonna drop it. And that line itself is like, like popping bottles, turn up. Girls are getting down. Like they're busting a move. Like we're all vibing.
Yeah.
And then just cop it. All of my bitches go shopping. It's like if we're turned, like I've.
That's a vibe, you're feeling good.
I'll take a special girl shopping, so it's it's just like that. It's just it's a very upbeat, fun. It's like who cares about rules, type of vibe.
Yeah.
And then there's another part that's like, just stop it. All of my haters keep talking. All of my haters keep talking. All of my haters, and it's just like, stop it, bro. Just stop the hate. Like we in a good vibe. Like just cut that out. Like we don't need that.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, you know, I circle back on that hook. There's another part where it's like, just stop it. Just stop. All my haters keep flopping, you know. These boys, man, some of these boys, they be flopping like James Harden, Marcus Smart ass. I don't even know, bro. Like, they be flopping, and it's sad.
Yeah.
But, hey, if you
And
you
much
guys,
respect for not saying LeBron James, man.
Oh, I love
Appreciate
LeBron.
it.
I can't do
All right,
LeBron like
sweet.
that.
All right.
I can't do LeBron like that. They're gonna say what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, the league is turning into that, but that's a different
Yeah.
subject for later. But yeah, man. So that's the vibe of the hook. So you know, playful, and like I said, the hook came first. You know, I originally started that off with my boy. You know, we try to make it fun because that's my boy. I turn up with him too, and you know, I tie that in with my experiences with him and myself. And then, you know, we get into the verse. It's like, they don't know how I started, found my role. With my team, yeah, we ballin' pick and roll. Every day, yeah, I'm focused on my goal. 301, yeah, I do this for the home. So like right there, like, they don't know how I started, found my role. People wonder, like, how'd you become a rapper?
Yeah.
I found my role because I was always into music. Freestyling was how I figured it out. And, you know, just like everything I've told you, know, I was freestyling, then recording music. So I found my role. With my team, yeah, we ball and pick and roll. You know, once I found my role, I also had my teammates, you know, like my boys like Brandon, Diego, like Brandon with the visualizers, Diego with the, you know, amazing photography for my photo shoots. Like, you know, Brandon will set a screen, you know, put me in position to shoot the wide open shot. You know, let's pop it. Like, I just made the shot. Like, you know, like my boys just, you know, we set up plays for each other. So that's, you know, with my team, yeah, we ball and pick and roll. Every day I'm focused on my goal. You know, this is all I do. This is all I care about. I'm all in on this. 301, yeah, I do this for the home. Like, I'm Beezy 301. I'm going to do this for the home. I'm bringing y'all with you. That's why 301 is in the name, because,
Sick.
yeah, we going to the top together.
I love all the references, man. You explained that really, really well.
I appreciate you,
enjoyed
man.
that.
I love the song, man. You know, I'm really passionate about it. I'm passionate about the message in my music. I feel like I don't really dive into it enough. I don't get to, I guess, explain it. I don't know why I don't, but
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad it's at least now than never.
Yeah, no, it's really refreshing having someone explain how these lyrics are related to things in their life, because although Genius used to have those artists come on and explain their lyrics, nowadays, I watched, what's his name? The guy who sang Lil Tecca?
Yeah.
Who
Lil
sang
Tecca.
Ransom?
Oh, dude, I know what you like, where he lied about, like, you know.
Dude, he lied about everything.
Yeah, you know, and I don't like that stuff. I'm sorry, Lil Tecca. You got good melodies, bro, but why you got a rap cap, bro? Why you gotta say you're playing with guns in your songs, but you don't actually play with guns? Like, people will test you, like, bro.
I wish we gotta get that video into this thing.
Yeah,
like,
definitely gotta slip that so people know.
People
like,
know what he capped everything. He said I was capping everything, like everything that he said.
Yeah. I mean, he has when your song blows up, and, like, you know, you have to kind of come clean. Otherwise, people are gonna like, you know,
for sure,
they're gonna see you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but one thing for sure that I take pride in with my music is I try to keep it real. I try to keep it relatable, and you know, I try not to fake who I am. I really believe in authenticity and, you know, moving at your own pace.
Right.
So that's important to me.
That is important. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
From an artist. As an artist.
For sure.
Appreciate that. So what have you been up to as of late? What are some of the latest projects that you've been working on? I know what I'm saying must have taken up some time getting prepared for release.
Yeah.
But are there some other projects that you're getting excited about? Things that are on the roll already?
Yeah, I'm definitely preparing for some music video shoots. I think, you know, I'm probably like a month or few away from getting ready to shoot them. And for those out there, you know, who listen to my music, you know, who rock me, or if you're just, you know, getting to know me and you end up, you know, liking my stuff, I'll tell you this, you know, there's not just going to be one music video coming out. There will be a bunch when I do start filming. So
tell them that.
Yeah,
tell them that.
Hey, y'all, listen, like, I'm not playing. Like, I know 17 songs out, no music videos, but hey, I got the music down, now let's get the visuals right. I promise, like, we got this, all right? I got you. You gonna like it. Thank you for, you know, riding with me and sticking along, or if you're just meeting me, welcome. It's never too late to be a part of the family, and hey, we gonna go up.
Definitely going up.
Yes, sirski. So,
love it.
Music videos, bro, no cap, 30 plus singles, like, probably more. I don't wanna, like, over or underestimate, but definitely.
Why don't you give us a little teaser of the names of the songs that you're gonna release the fastest, like the earliest?
Yeah, I could see Shorty. This song called Shorty. Shordie, for anyone wondering how it's spelled, because people spell Shorty differently.
Mm-hmm.
Shorty's going to be one of them. I got this really upbeat song called 301. Have to, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Have to.
Yeah.
I got a song called Honesty, really powerful song, melodic as well. Memories in My Head, that's, you know, kind of dance hall-y, islandy. I think the ladies will love that song.
Okay.
I think the ladies will love, honestly, all these songs, but I think they'll probably resonate with that one a lot. Ooh, man, there's, like I said, I got 30. I can name you something. I got like What You Like. I got recent New York drill. That's me on some melodic New York drill. I'm like excited to, you know, show people how I do New York.
All right.
Definitely, yeah, recent Honesty, 301. Is You With Me? That one's gonna be a really dope one. And also, if you do follow me on IG, by the way, that's at Beezy301. I know I'm talking big talk about all these singles, but I'm always posting snippets of stuff I'm working on. Like if you follow me and like you stay posted on my stories on a weekly basis, you will definitely hear snippets of my upcoming stuff. It's definitely next level. If you like my already stuff that I put out, I promise you the next stuff is, you know, a big level up. I've really been trying to just prepare myself for this, you know, next chapter.
Yeah. Very cool. This studio is amazing. The equipment that I've seen here is incredible. I haven't seen anything quite like it before. This is the first time that I'm in a studio like this. Yeah. Really. I mean, we had a studio in school at Penn State.
Yeah.
Which was nice, but I mean, this is a studio. This is a proper home studio. How did you make all of this happen?
I appreciate that, first of all, man. So when I made the decision to, you know, be a really serious artist, I was at first, of course, you know, going to my local studio, and while that was cool, while I was still getting work done, there'd be times when I would write a song and I want to hear how I sound before I, like, you know, fully, like, there'd be times, right? I'd write a song and then I'd pay for studio time, and it just didn't turn out what I envisioned it to be. So I would like, you know, kind of, it'd be a waste of time. It's like off the first take when I pull up to session, I just know like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be releasing this. And I'm obligated to be there for the hour, however many hours, you know, I'm paying for. So I didn't like having to kind of always rely on the studio. And that too, I'm very serious about my music, like very serious about the editing process. And I'm the type of guy to immediately go back and make revisions if I hear something off. And, you know, the studios just weren't on my time because they have to run their business. Yeah. So for me, I was just trying to plot, how can I, you know, make really good quality music on my own time? You know, my family definitely, you know, wasn't able to, like, didn't want to just get me a studio. And that's not a realistic thing to ask your family for. So I did some deep thinking and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a job at a music store. So I applied to work for Guitar Center. Got a job there to work in sales. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted to get this equipment, but I also wanted to learn. You know, I wanted to enhance my learning of music, you know, equipment. My purpose there was to not just make money, but to also, you know, better my musical understanding. Yeah. So got a job there, worked there for a couple years, saved up my money. You know, I'm blessed that my family takes care of my living and, you know, my food expense. So all the money I made from working there, you know, I saved it to this gear. I used, you know, made use of my discounts and, you know, just piece by piece. This didn't happen overnight. It definitely started out with like, you know, one piece of equipment at a time. But that's how I got here, you know, through my job at Guitar Center, you know, through making that connection and, you know, just being locked in with how I was going to use my money. You know, I knew that having a studio is a privilege and a blessing. So that's really what it was. I got a job at Guitar Center and made the most out of, you know, what I could.
Very cool. So what kind of equipment do we have here? Do you want to take us through?
Sure, yeah. So this is a Faderport 16 production controller. This just kind of navigates your levels on a track. You know, if you don't feel like manually clicking in, adjusting volume on like a certain vocal take, you can just do it right here. It's very hands-on, very easy. You can play and record through this. That's what that's for. This is a central station remote. This controls the main monitor. So for my speakers, I can control my volume through this. This is a MIDI keyboard, Akai MPK. Really good for producing. I use this whenever
Classic,
yeah. You know, if you're a producer, you already know. Yeah. Use that when I make beats. This, one of my MVPs, Apollo Twin by Universal Audio. It's my interface. It gives me all my plugins.
Mm-hmm.
It also controls my volume. It controls my vocal settings. It does a lot of different things. That is where the Beezy sound comes from. Like majority of the Beezy sound comes from this Apollo Twin. This Shelford channel right here, that is a vocal compressor. That hooks up into my microphone, and that just gives my my vocals through my microphone more clarity, more depth, more quality. And then the microphone I use is a Neumann U87. In my opinion, it's the second best microphone in the game, right behind the Sony C800G, I believe. 10K mic, so expensive. But this Neumann I use, very grateful for it. Gets the job done. Love how I sound on it. That's what I rock with for my microphone. And last but not least, my speakers, I use the Focals as my main speaker and the Yamaha HS5s as my references. And then actually, you can't see it, but down below I have a Yamaha subwoofer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, for good bass. If you just want to crank, hear some dope bass, it gets the job done. So yeah, that's, really what I'm rocking with when I'm in the lab.
Nice. How have you not made a Bollywood song so far, or like a Hindi English mix song so far? Has there never been what do you call a vision for a song to appeal to your Indian audience?
I feel like I'm at an Indian party right now, and like you're an auntie speaking to me, asking me like, "Where's the Indian music?" Nah. That's a good question, man.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna keep it 100, growing up, and I've watched Indian movies, Bollywood movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the classics. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely grew up very Americanized. Especially this area, I'm in, it's,
Right.
just very culturally American area.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my family has shown me, Indian songs, but I never really got down with it like that. I was always, into like mainstream American music. I was just into rock, rap. The music was cool, but I didn't even speak the language enough, I guess.
Right.
That's probably the biggest reason is, so I fully understand Hindi and Punjabi, and I can definitely, get around with it. I don't speak it enough to like really be like solidly fluent with it, but I have that background, and I think it's just because I don't really speak the language all that well.
Yeah.
I don't really. It just wasn't like my main thing. Like I can appreciate I can appreciate like Sidhu or like Mickey Singh, whoever is like popping in that crowd.
No, I get it, man. Like I was just pulling your leg. Of course, like English hip hop is much. It is more world. What do you call? More accredited worldwide.
Yeah.
And Hindi hip hop or like Indian hip
hop. It's
hop.
very niche,
It's very niche. I mean, it was very niche until like a couple of years ago, and now it's expanding.
Of course. And there's so many Indians, bro.
So much.
Like calling it a niche is almost like incorrect because it's like almost not a niche.
But Punjabi rappers, they're killing it.
Of course,
like,
bro.
I think it's something about their language that makes the rap sound really buttery smooth, and like even though it's hard, it goes really smooth.
I agree.
And there's just something about the way that they sing it and the way their language makes hip hop sound.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds really great.
Especially on the trap beats nowadays, bro. Like it mixes pretty well, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a good like gin and tonic mix, bro. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like, but
good mix. That's a good mix.
Dope ass mix. I just don't, I just speak English way better than I speak those languages, and that's I think probably the main reason why.
Right. Was there no one else of your ethnicity or your culture that wanted to collaborate with you who was able to write songs in Hindi or another Indian language?
Yeah, actually, there's definitely this one homie, Inder. He's based out around Philly. He started music around the same time I did. We actually, because we started around the same time, we didn't know too many people, especially brown boys that were, trying to make music. And we were just like, yo, like you got your style, I got my style. Why don't we collab on a song? So he really loves The Weeknd, and I do too. But he loves him way more than me. I gotta give him that one. And we linked up on Weekend like in 2017 when I just started. We were both really young, and we've obviously gone our separate ways. Like he's evolved in his way, I've evolved in my way.
Yeah.
And we did make a dope song together. It was over the Low Life beat, which is obviously it's got a lot of copyright issues with that one.
Yeah.
But we did make a pretty dope song. I did my part in English, he did his part in Punjabi, and we made a little vibe. He didn't release it like that, but I thought, that was, I guess, the furthest I've gone in that, Bollywood kind of valley. It's not something that I want to go out of my way to do, but I will always, I feel like that's something I could, always kind of make my rounds to here and there if, the fit was right, the vision made sense.
Yeah, we've added a new section to the BRN interviews, and you're the first one who's going to be taking part in it. Quite excited for it. It's a very well-known concept called a rapid fire, but on this show, it's going to be called the burn up. Okay. Just in relation to BRN, just put the U there to make it the burn up.
That's
we have
fire.
a ratings thing like IMDb as well, where it's called the BRN Flames ratings.
Okay.
And we have like 4 different flames according to whether it sparks your interest, whether it's a fire song, whether it gets people moving and dancing, and whether it's just flames and like it's just
undeniable.
Undeniable.
Yeah, I feel that.
So we have something like that. So for this burn up round, you're gonna have to answer all these questions under a minute. And if we can't get through to them, you'll only be receiving 1 merchandise.
Okay.
But if you do get through to them, I'll give you the whole suitcase.
Oh, you capping, bro.
All right, so are you ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. And your time starts now. Favorite fast food?
In-N-Out.
Favorite famous person?
Drake?
Something to accomplish in the next 5 years?
Go on tour.
Somewhere you've always wanted to go, but you haven't been?
Mexico.
Favorite TV show?
I just finished watching Queen of the South, but okay, Queen of the South, Dave, and Workaholics. I like those ones.
Dave is a great show. If you had a choice to work with J. Cole or Kanye, who would you want to work with? Ye?
Yeah.
Beezy with Yeezy? Perfect. That was it. That was it for the rapid fire round. You finished that 14 seconds early, right?
Yo, that was light
awesome.
speed,
Yo,
bro.
here's a suitcase, man.
Oh,
Here.
You for real, brother?
Yeah,
oh,
for real.
God. All right. We're going to take good care of this one.
Awesome. All right. Now, a little bit before the show, you were talking to me about how you've held back with marketing and putting yourself out there as a person and as an artist. What would you say it is about the Brown Rappers Network that made you feel that this was the time, the place, and the community that you wanted to kick off your public appearance with?
Sure. So when I first made the decision, like, I'm going to for real do this, like, I'm going to be all in and serious about, being an artist and, trying to be successful, I told myself that I'm going to first figure out how to make good music. I don't know how long, that was going to take, but I told myself, I know it's going to take some years to, master this art of, making good music that people actually enjoy. And once I got to that point, then I will, I planned this like years in advance. I told myself, once the music's good, I'll, kind of open up more and just, let people know who I really am. Because one thing about me is I've always kind of been low key. I'm not shy like that, but I've just kind of been a private person a lot of the time growing up. And I think, being an artist, especially, putting in these years and releasing songs, I've definitely learned to open up a little bit more. I've definitely, like today compared to like a couple years ago, I'm definitely, much more confident, much more, outgoing and outspoken about it. But pretty much, I've definitely held back from the visual marketing, I guess, because sometimes, and I told you this earlier in one of the questions, I just feel like I don't fully know my like place, like where I really belong, because sometimes I feel like I'm divided in these different worlds, like I'm like kind of in the middle and I'm not like fully in one circle, right? That's been something that's made me feel like, I should, I guess, hold out until, I feel good, like the time feels right, like I guess when I'm comfortable with speaking to people. But when you approached me and told me that, Brown Rappers Network would be interested in, speaking with me and getting to know me, I felt like it was honestly a great opportunity because, this platform is focused on brown. I mean, it's in the name, brown rap. I'm a brown rapper. It's like, you can't visibly deny that. Yeah. And it just felt like it was a good time. I feel like I could speak to someone that could see, things through my lens, understand why I did what I did, why I do what I do. And to be honest, I've been itching to, just get it out there. And, I'm just grateful that this opportunity, came about, because who knows, maybe it would have taken much longer for me to give you the information I did today. And you got to start somewhere. I really hope that moving forward, I can really challenge myself to be, more visually out there, because, you know, the internet can be a really, you know, hurtful place. Not that I can't take a joke or like, you know, a zinger, like, come on, we strong, we built tough, but, you know, it could definitely, you know, hurt someone or even send the wrong impression. Like, you know, it could hurt your family or your friends. It could hurt those that care about you, even if it doesn't hurt you. And, you know, there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, but I feel like, you know, with you guys, it was just the right time to, you know, make this leap forward. So that's why I decided to, you know, make this approach today.
That's awesome. I'm glad we were able to be that for you, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate what you guys are doing. You know, I see the vision, and, you know, I'll always be behind y'all, man. I'm gonna definitely, you know, rep y'all for sure.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sirski.
And that's all we have for today, man. So I know you already have the whole suitcase of goodies, but there's one special one that we wanted to give you. The original BRN black T logo.
Hey, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Hey, you know what? I got something for you too, bro. This is an original 301 hat. These have not been officially released, brother. These will be coming soon, but you know, I'll treat this as a jersey swap at the end of the match, yo. Like, this is.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
you.
Appreciate it, yo. There we go.
Woo!
There we go. History.
We'll
man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you too, man. Thank you so much.